Sometimes the weirdest things serve as inspiration for us guitar players. So a couple minutes ago, I was just fiddling around with some delay times and I came up with this stereo kind of delay. Can you hear the rhythm in that? You know, that kind of shuffling rhythm? And I want to use that kind of delay as a basis for the track in this video. You know, I want to slap some couple beats so we have a first rhythmic element for our next track here. Let's do this. So here's our beat, just created by that rhythmic delay that I'm using here, with two different delay times. Now, let's start and develop a track here. And I want to go with a couple chords, like this. Super smooth sounding, right? Now, if you're interested in these kinds of delays, you can use something like the KEELEY Halo. I use this all the time. You hear it in many of my videos. And the KEELEY Halo does that dual delay kind of thing where you have two different delay times, left and right in your stereo image. And you can do these kinds of things with delay like that. I'll link it in the description down below as an affiliate link if you want to get something like that. Now, let's move further with this track. The chords that I'm choosing here are pretty melancholic, right? And we need some underlying bass here. So let's simulate a bass and make it a little bit driving. Something like... maybe let's use a pick. Get a little bit more percussion then. I like that. You know, sometimes you want to use a pick so the percussive element of your picking contributes to the rhythm. Now, already we have something we could solo over at this point. Let's try what we can come up with here. Now, I like that, and if you want to learn these kinds of melodic soloing techniques, check out my guitar course in the description down below if you want to learn that, because that stuff is totally learnable. But I'm not happy with the loop so far. We need to add a couple things. I'm hearing a couple things that I want to try, and one of these things is kind of like a melodic loop that just keeps going and going and going. Something like a repeating pattern. Notice that we're using the same delay in every single layer of this loop, so all the rhythmic elements of the delays fall right into place with the original rhythm. This is cool, but it's a little bit too U2 for me. So let's try something else here, and I want to get something clean, so I'm rolling down my volume a little bit so it's more in the background and not too annoying. Let's try something with an open string maybe. Something like that, but maybe... Yep. I like that. Let's record that. So with this repeating pattern here, we have a little bit more movement going on in the loop. Before it was a little empty, right? But now, you know, I like this, but I think I want to harmonize this with another one of these. So let's do the same, but let's harmonize this. I like this. Let's loop. That sounds amazing. Sounds so dreamy, melancholic. Makes me think of all the things I did in the past. You know, makes me think about my life. You know. Now, let's go all the way. Let's harmonize even more. I think we could use one more layer to make this, you know, all over the top. Let's go all the way with this. Let's use another layer up here. Something like. A little bit more gain here. That will do. Let's loop this. To me, this sounds very, very nice. So dreamy, so complete. You know, it evokes emotion in me, and that's a cool thing. Hopefully it does in you too. Now, obviously, we're staying with the same delay settings, even for the lead now. What can we play on top that complements this? I think because we have such a cool rhythm going, we can use something that is, we can use a phrasing that is, you know, in the same rhythm than all the stuff that we layered here. Now what I've done here is I used the same rhythmic element we're using in that repeating melodic pattern here that we harmonized. These are eighth note triplets, and if you're using them in your phrasing, it sounds perfect because there's an element underneath with the same rhythm. You know, that's a good option for phrasing. Or we use the same rhythmic element we're using in the bass. Because in the bass we're doing... And we can use that in the leads too. Phrasing option number 2. Now, we could even make it more simple and just use the same phrasing we used for the chorus in the beginning. Very simplistic, but also very classy sounding. Now, obviously, as guitar players, we should combine all three of these. So let's do that. Now, that's it. You know, around a delay pattern, we created this entire loop. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that cool how inspired you can get from just a simple delay setting? I hope it inspires you, and I hope you learned something today in this video. Subscribe, like this video, leave your comment. Everything helps the channel. So, see you in the next one. Bye.